Hi guys, Aceface back, and I'm back with another video for Twisted Dice. Thanks for joining us guys, really appreciate it. And thank you very much to all our new subscribers. It's been crazy the last couple of months. It's been absolutely mental. Me and Darren are so pleased with everybody that's joined the channel and that's hit that subscribe button, that has commented and liked the videos. It means so much to us. But if you haven't already and you're one of that huge big 60% of people that watch our videos that do not subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. Helps us out tons. We're fast approaching the 10,000 subscribers. And all the other details for all the other stuff and cool things that's going on in Twisted Dice are down in the description below. See all the links there. And if you want to become a Patreon, the links are there as well. And those guys, we can't thank them enough. They keep the lights going. You're absolute mega bosses, so thank you. Anyway, today, guys, I want to just cover a bit of an interesting subject. And you can see it in the title. Are Genestealers dead? Are they dead? Have we killed them in 9th edition? And if we have, why? And is there still light at the end of the tunnel for the humble Genestealer? Or are we back to 6th edition where you don't take those guys anymore? So what happened to Genestealers? So Genestealers went up in points. Everyone went up in points, but to be fair, they weren't super cheap before. They've gone up in points. They're quite an investment for a big unit of 20 Genestealers. And why do I say, well, you go, well, just don't take 20. So the reason why you're always going to take big units of Genestealers is because when they are above 10, they get an additional attack. It's a really big deal because it means they get 4 attacks. 4 attacks then puts them in a much better territory with other sort of combat units. With the 3 attacks, the maths just gets skewed quite a bit. Now, because of that investment of points, it does mean that these guys need to be really effective for you. Now, can they be really effective? Yeah, they absolutely can. 100%. And why are they still super effective in 9th edition? Well, they're still super effective in 9th edition because whereas before, they were quick. They're even quicker now. And you go, well, they're the same. No, they're not. They're quicker because the board is smaller. The board is so much smaller. And it actually is. You think, well, it's not a lot, but it is significantly smaller. So that means their reach is that much more. Someone that isn't prepared for it, I was going to say someone that doesn't know what they're doing, but that sounds really unfair. Someone that's not prepared for it, that gets hit by a big unit of Genestealers turn 1, is going to feel it because those Genestealers will absolutely reach out and be in your lines first turn. So to deliver that punch, these guys are super effective still. Super effective, and will go through a screen without too much trouble. Will go in if there's a unit at the front and mince them because they've still got, -1 to their attacks. -1 AP. And they still have got obviously that rending ability as well. They've got an awful lot of attacks. Hitting on 3s is really super strong. And they can fight twice. So that's good as well. So look, these guys will do work. They will absolutely go in and they will go through something so quickly. The problems that they've got, and this is where, the hidden issues with 9th edition for Genestealers are, what you would do before is you would potentially charge lots of stuff. Now, because you would, like overrun into things, you would double attack, you would potentially, be wrapping stuff that's further away, attack it. You could do all sorts of shenanigans with Genestealers, and the list goes on. And I'm not going to go into everything today, but there were so many tricks you could do with Genestealers. Problem is, you can't really do them anymore because, one, you're going to fail your charge if you charge too many things. So double attacking and going through 2 units is not as likely anymore. But also, on top of that, they have got the ability to come out of combat, so you can't wrap them up as easily as you could. And on top of that, you can't kind of like tap a tank and expect it to not do anything because it will still shoot you now. And Genestealers are not super resilient, so that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt in itself. So you've got to really take that into account because the problem that you always with Genestealers, the key was always about trading. So what you would do with Genestealers is you would refuse to trade. And this is probably a little bit more advanced tactics for some people, but basically the whole idea of a trade is basically, so if you've got a unit, you know, you've got a unit of boys or whatever it is in another army, you're expecting to lose that unit, but it's what you're going to trade for. So if you're trading up, so your unit of boys costs so much, but you're trading against a unit that costs a lot more, then you've done a decent trade there. And that's what you're always doing. But with the Genestealers, what you would do is, because you would kill something that potentially wasn't that strong, but you would wrap something else and stay safe, is you wouldn't be trading, because you would refuse the trade, because you would stay alive, because you were making those Genestealers almost impossible to kill, because you were wrapping something else. So they wouldn't be able to shot out. It's much harder not to trade now, because they can come out of combat, they can shoot in combat, you can't necessarily get to things as far away as you would before. So those things mean that the Genestealers quite often are in trading territory. Because now they're quite expensive, that trade often doesn't go well for them. And that's where it becomes a bit tough taking them. So these are the bad things about Genestealers. Some of the good things that potentially you want to be looking at now is maybe a small unit of Genestealers with their ability to move super quick might be a viable tactic. You got to remember, these guys can move so quick. And they can overrun out of trouble as well, potentially. So, you know, if you manage to get a small unit Genestealers, they can clear out a camping unit in the middle of the board that's just gone in early, infiltrated into a position, take an objective. You can quite easily kill that unit, fingers crossed, and then overrun somewhere else to get out of trouble. And then maybe stay out of line of sight and stay safe. So potentially the viability with these guys works in a very different way. We're looking at much smaller units. A lot of people have said to me, you know, is it worth looking at the extended carapaces, giving them +1 to their save? Now, the problem comes there is the fact that just their speed is so much compromised by that, because they can't advance and charge. So for me, the problem there is you just lose that little bit of viability with them for that, because you still want them to have that strength to them. So I just don't think that's a viable tactic, but I do think it's a viable tactic to look at smaller units and use these much more as a unit that potentially can aggravate on small units, take units off objectives, and can counter that kind of ability, particularly if you've chosen not to take units yourself that are going to be quick to the objectives. The Genestealers do that very well. They're very quick. So if you've got a little unit, you can very quickly clear off a small little unit, take an objective, go somewhere else. So you can use them much more as a toolbox piece. But you're much more less likely to use them within a Kraken detachment and make them super quick, because they're not so effective in that use anymore. You're not necessarily going to see them teamed with a Swarm Lord like you used to. So because of that, you're much more likely to use these guys in a Leviathan, or, you know, in a Jormungandr detachment. That's going to work better for them. So that's how I would use my Genestealers. And actually, I wouldn't be adverse to giving that a go. I've not tried them out yet. So if you're using Genestealers and finding them effective, be really interested to hear. Put in the comments below. But are Genestealers dead? Well, but for the time being, until we get a little bit extra love for them, or they get slight points decrease, I think in a competitive format, Genestealers are probably dead. Sad times. Rest in peace, Genestealers. For now. So hopefully they get some love in 9th edition. But anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Hopefully you found it useful and informative. And if you disagree, agree, let us know in the comments below. But until the next one, I'm Aceface, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.